Hey food allergy mama, is there really such a thing as an allergy-friendly resort? You want a vacation where you can actually relax, knowing your child is safe. But searching online can feel overwhelming. It's hard to find anything about allergies, and even then, it's hard to know what allergy-aware actually looks like at the resort. Are they talking about a chef who understands cross-contact, or is it just a single gluten-free option on the buffet? And the truth is, planning a trip with food allergies takes extra layers of research and preparation because as moms, we can't just book and hope for the best. We need to know what we're walking into. That's why today I'm sharing insider tips on allergy-friendly resorts, the kind of information that can save you hours of research and a whole lot of stress. So if you've ever wondered how to find an allergy-friendly resort, stay with me until the end and I'll share the insider strategies I use as a travel advisor and food allergy mom, and you'll walk away knowing with exactly what to watch for. Let's get to it. Hey food allergy mama, if you're here, you've likely experienced the scary and lonely food allergy diagnosis with your child. Unfortunately, food allergy parents aren't taught how to navigate the food allergy lifestyle, and it's easy to feel alone and discouraged sometimes. But I'm here to show you that food allergy life doesn't have to feel restrictive, scary, or isolated. I'm Karina, and I'm a 17-year food allergy mom and food allergy coach at Friendly Pantry Consulting. I specialize in making food allergy life safer and less worrisome for food allergy families like yours. I'm not perfect, but over 17 years, I've learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sharing the secrets and resources you won't hear anywhere else that will help you feel confident living with food allergies faster and easier than I did. From introducing allergens, travel, navigating school, and educating friends and family, this podcast will give you the essential tips and strategies you need to help your food allergy child and family thrive. Welcome to the show. If you want help taking the burden of researching and planning a trip off your plate, so all you have to do is show up and make memories with your kids, email me at karina.meckleborg@fora.travel and we can chat about your next trip. You can also sign up for my Food Allergy Travel Secrets email list, which is where I share our family's travel secrets that we've learned after 18 years of traveling with food allergies. Just go to www.friendlypantry.com/travel secrets, all one word with an S. Okay, so when we talk today, I'm going to be talking about two different kinds of allergy-friendly resorts, all-inclusives and non-all-inclusives. And we all know the benefits of all-inclusives because there's going to be so much convenience. All the meals, the snacks, the activities, they're all in one place. And this in itself is a huge benefit because it gives us that break from constantly cooking. And remember, all-inclusives can be a cruise ship as well. So there's considerations you have to make, but cruising does work really well for many allergy families. And if you're interested in this and want to know more about it, I do have an episode about our Disney cruise where we went to the Mediterranean that I will link in the show notes in case you want to consider it further. But when you're booking an all-inclusive resort, I want to give you a couple of things to consider. First of all, the resorts that do the best job at allergies are often the mid to high end. This is because these are the ones that train their staff well, they pay attention to detail, and they retain their best employees because they can pay them a bit more. And for me, I would rather choose a resort that does a really great job at keeping their staff and training their staff and taking that attention to detail than seek out the lowest cost resort. But not every high-end all-inclusive is going to be good with allergies, and you still have to do the research, but I'm going to say that most of the ones are more high-end and mid to high-end. Because there aren't as many of those resorts that are great with food allergies, they are going to book up quickly. So don't wait until the last minute to book your vacation. And I recommend even looking as far in advance as possible, possibly even a year in advance to start doing the research. When you're booking an all-inclusive, you may want to look for an allergy menu in addition to asking about cross-contact and all of that kind of stuff. And the reason why I say this is because FAIR did a research study a few years ago, and it found that when customers talk to the restaurant about their allergen and there is an allergy menu, the risk of a reaction is lowered. So I like to look for allergy menus as much as possible. And unfortunately, most resorts who have allergy menus, they are mostly for things like gluten, vegan, and those types of things. But it is a start. So I'm always on the lookout for those resorts with an allergy menu that might work for my clients. Okay, so let's talk a little bit now about those allergy-friendly resorts that are not all-inclusive. And these are a little bit of an unsung hero because us food allergy mamas, we are honestly sick of cooking and all we want is a break and hope that there might be an all-inclusive that will work for our family. So oftentimes that's what we're going for, and I get it. But as someone who has traveled this way for many years, I want you to know that there are some really great benefits with these resorts as well. So let's look at some considerations when you're booking allergy-friendly resorts that are not all-inclusive. First of all, you can still get that beach resort feeling even without going to an all-inclusive. And many of these resorts have kids clubs, pools, beaches, ocean views, and all the things. They have even activities that are included. So you're not missing out when it comes to that sort of thing. These kinds of resorts are really great for families with multiple severe allergies who want to control their meals a little bit more. So for example, they often have suites with kitchens so you can make your own breakfast and lunch and possibly dinner, or you can find a restaurant that is allergy friendly and go out for 1 or 2 dinners as well. Not only does cooking a few meals help you feel safer, but it also helps you control the budget as well because you're going to be able to eat out as little or as much as you want. When you book an all-inclusive, they charge you per person and they don't change that if you don't drink very much, let's say, or you don't eat as much or any of that. So you're going to be controlling your costs a little bit more. That said, when I look for a resort like this for a client, I will focus on resorts where they're going to feel confident dining out so that they don't have to necessarily cook the whole time. And they can still get that break they're yearning for, but also feel fully confident and not stressed. I call this a little home base because I really want people to find that home base where they can feel confident in either cooking for themselves or going out for a couple of meals once or twice. And I can't always find allergy-safe restaurants right near the resort every time, but that is my goal, and I do try to do that as much as possible. Now, I just want to stress that I am not saying that all-inclusives are better, and I'm not saying that non-all-inclusives are better. But what I am saying is that it's really important to match the resort with your needs and your desires and to set up your expectations correctly so that when you do this, it's going to have a less stressful vacation overall. You're not going to get there and things are going to be totally different than you expected, and then you're going to be stressing and worried because that is not a great vacation. Okay, so let's get into some of the steps that we're going to do when we're researching any kind of resort, whether it's all-inclusive or a non-all-inclusive. But you want to start with scanning their website. Take a look to see what do they say about allergies. Look under the dining tabs, and you sometimes really have to dig deep. But even after the digging, sometimes you can't find really a lot about it on the website. So don't be discouraged. You might just have to contact them directly. And this can be, I know, a little bit frustrating. I wish that more of them had it right on their website, and some of them do. And sometimes that's low-hanging fruit. You want to just go with the ones that actually talk about it on their website because it's just easier. The next thing you're going to want to do is dig up as many reviews for real guest experiences as possible. And where I usually go is to Facebook groups, allergy Facebook groups, allergy travel Facebook groups. And you could look at the Spoken app. You can search on Instagram. You can even read reviews on travel sites. Or if you have friends with food allergies, you can ask them. These are all great sources of finding what others' experiences were with these resorts. Next, you're going to want to email the resort directly with specific questions. And I prefer to email versus calling because sometimes it's just easier to have everything on paper, what you asked, what they responded, and you don't have to rely on memory. And if you can dig into it and find the contact information for the food and beverage manager or the head chef, these are really the best people to contact. And I know that this information isn't always easily accessible, but it's worth figuring it out if you can. A few questions that you want to think about asking is, how do they navigate cross contact? Or how do they cook allergy meals? Do they have a separate area? Do they have allergy menus? And you want to ask if you can get fresh food made that is not on the buffet, because we all know that buffets are a source of really a lot of cross contact. Unless you can manage cross contact, you'll want to just ask them to cook something in the back instead of eating off the buffet. Now I get it. This seems time consuming and overwhelming to do all of this research, but if you want help as a travel advisor, I can do this for you. And when you book through me, there is no additional charge. So my food allergy support is included. So I have the benefit of working with many resorts so I can see how they navigate food allergies. And I also have access to other advisors who can give experiences. These things are helpful in knowing the resorts to recommend for my clients. I can also have insider contacts and know the right questions to ask. And I can save you hours of uncertainty and replace it with peace of mind. Okay, the next thing you want to consider is choosing the right resort for your family. So we're going to align your needs and your interests. For example, if you have multiple allergies or allergies outside the top 9, you may choose to focus on a resort that is not all-inclusive, so you have more control over your cooking and dining needs. If you have active teens, you may want to consider a resort with sports like surfing simulators, paddleboarding, and teen spas and clubs. Or if you have younger kids, you want to consider the kids clubs or the family pools and splash parks, and maybe family themes and activities as well. So what I'm trying to get at here is that there's no one-size-fits-all allergy-friendly resort. It's about finding the right fit for your needs and your interests. And when I chat with families, I take all of these things into consideration so that you're getting a vacation that's allergy-friendly and going to be working for the whole family as far as the vibe and the activities. Okay, so let's talk about those red and green flags to watch for. So first of all, green flags. Resorts with allergy protocols stated on the website. And I talked about this already, but if you can find this, it's really helpful. And it's important to follow up with the resort to make sure that they are actually understanding this and doing this in their practice. But seeing those protocols on the website, that's definitely a green flag. Number 2, you're going to have staff willing to connect you directly with the chef or the food and beverage team. And I just love when this happens, because if I can talk to the chef or my client can, I know that I'm getting the best indication of what they believe and understand about food allergies. Another green flag is allergy menus. And as I mentioned, the FAIR study, which I'll link in the show notes, showed that allergy menus and talking with the staff about allergies every time before eating lowers the risk of a reaction. So I love to find when resorts have an allergy menu. Yes, it's still rare, but it's still a great green flag. A couple of red flags to watch out for is really vague answers like, we can accommodate everything, and they don't give any details. Or another red flag, and I've had this quite a few times, is where they don't respond at all. And basically, if they don't respond, I might try one more time, but I don't assume that they take my business seriously, and I don't want to be chasing them. So I will probably drop that resort if they don't respond. So I want to encourage you. We have traveled all over the world with food allergies, and it is possible to have a wonderful vacation with food allergies. It's just about doing the research and finding the right fit for your family. So if the thought of doing all the research feels overwhelming, that's exactly what I help families with. Food allergy support is included when you book through me. If you're ready to chat about your next trip, email me at Corina, Corina.Meckelborg, Meckelborg, at fora.travel to chat about your next vacation. If this episode helped you, please leave a 5-star review and share it with another food allergy mom. Thanks for listening, and bye for now. Before you go, Mama, if you love this episode and want deeper support, head over to friendlypantry.com to see how we can partner together to keep your food allergy child safer and worry less. There's no need for wasting time searching all over Instagram, TikTok, and the web to get the practical knowledge you need for your family. While you're there, grab your free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide or the newly diagnosed checklist today. topics are not medical advice and are the opinions, views, and property of Friendly Pantry Consulting Incorporated. All rights reserved. Always contact your board-certified allergist immunologist for health advice.